Hi, and welcome to Think Better with Dan Thomas. I'm Dr. Dan Thomas, and this is my first YouTube video. We are going to have fun today because I'm going to show you and talk to you about why belief is the path to success. Now, don't get it twisted. There's going to be some behavioral things that will happen, but it'll be your belief that causes the behavior, not your behavior that causes the belief. So let's just dive right into this. There are so many people who are stuck right now in their life. They're experiencing reticence, they're experiencing hesitation, they're experiencing what we call procrastination. And procrastination is really just built up stress that turns into fear, that turns into crippling. And none of us want that because you know what it feels like? It feels like you're sitting on the side of the road, your car is broken down, and cars are just going right past you. Going right past you, going right past you. How can you get out of that? What is the difference between some people who are stuck, they're able to get unstuck, and people who are stuck, but they stay stuck? Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So put your thinking caps on, put your illumination caps on. There's going to be a moment for aha moments, epiphanies. I promise you, you will have a lot of them. Let's go. Okay, so let's talk about this. There's something about your physiology that you may not know. And I want to get into this because it's going to help you get out of whatever you're in. Yes, today I'm going to show you how to get out, get unstuck from wherever you are. If you can understand this at any time, you can get unstuck. So most people may not have ever heard of the subconscious. And if you have, you may not understand it. But let me help you understand this in just a few short moments. Number one, your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. Your conscious mind is your rational mind. These are the two sides of your brain. And right now, as you're listening to me, your conscious mind is engaged and it's taking in information. But as it's taking in information, everything that you've been doing your entire life, it's been building up files. And so right now it's saying, listen to this, don't listen to that, engage with this, don't engage with that. It's doing that because it's connected to the subconscious mind, which knows what you want, knows what you focus on, knows what you are directed towards. Now, most of the thoughts that we have come from a belief system that we're not even aware of. This is what we call a paradigm. And this may be causing limiting beliefs. So even when I really, really want to do something, I'm not able to do it simply because I have a limiting belief that limits me from going any further than where I am. I notice this when certain results show up in my life, watch this, that I don't want. And then when I try to go do what I do want, I run into that brick wall over and over again. So about 80% of your thoughts actually come from your belief system. Well, what is a belief system? What is a paradigm? It's an aggregate of thoughts that you have compiled over a long period of time where you have told your mind, this is what I want and this is what I don't want. Here's something that's very interesting about the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind, like the earth and the ground, will receive anything that you put in it. It cannot differentiate between good or bad. It can tell the difference between real or imagined. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been sitting at your desk and maybe you worked in a cubicle and you were just tired of being there and your mind began to wander and you imagined yourself on a beach and you had the umbrella over you and you had your favorite drink to the side and the wind from the mist of the water was coming on you and it felt so good. And then all of a sudden you woke up and he said, I'm not there, but it felt so real. That is a power of imagination that exists within you, that if you practice that every day, things will be able to come to you. So let me give you this breakdown because this is important. 80% of your thoughts come from your belief system. So your belief system produces thoughts. Those thoughts in turn then produce emotions and feelings. Those emotions and feelings produce behaviors. And then those behaviors produce results and experiences. Many times when we want to change, here's what we do. We go right to the behavior and say, let's change the behavior. But it actually didn't begin in the behavior. It began in the beliefs. It began with the beliefs. If you want your behavior to change, you have to change your beliefs. Your beliefs are an outworking, or actually your behaviors are an outworking of your belief system. And this is important to understand because your behaviors are following beliefs that you are aware of or you're not even aware of. So if my mind right now is conditioned to bring me things that I don't want, then it stands to reason that that same mind can be conditioned to bring me things that I do want. And you want success. You want to break through the barriers. You want to reach the full potential of what you can do here on this earth. I know that you do, and that's why you're listening to this video. So how do I find out what beliefs are actually in my subconscious mind that are not doing me any good right now? They're just not. And I know because of the behaviors that I have and the results and experiences that I have. Well, there it is. Look at your results and look at your experiences, and they will give you clues to what your beliefs are. Okay, let's use this example. Let's say that you were broke. You have absolutely any money, no money, and every time you get money in your hand, you just can't keep it. It's going somewhere, it's burning, and all those different things. It's just, my mom used to say, the money is burning up your pocket. It just can't stay there, right? Okay, why is that? Well, probably because I've got a scarcity mentality. Probably because I've got a poverty mentality. Probably because I have a lack belief system. And anytime I get money, I don't think that it's going to stay. I don't think that it's going to do me any good. So it leaves me. I'll tell you a story really quickly that relates to this. I remember when I was in college, and this was when Pell Grants were huge. Bill Clinton was president, and I was on scholarship. So most of my stuff was paid for except for the books. And so I got an $8,000 refund. I mean, can you imagine that? $8,000 for a refund. Crazy. Well, I never had that much money before. I'd always operated in deficit. And let me tell you how. I would take $20 and I could stretch it almost 2 weeks because I knew how to survive. I was familiar with surviving. I wasn't familiar with thriving at all. So surplus was foreign to me. It was something that I didn't understand. And the dopamine release that came from me being able to stretch $20 over 2 weeks was not there when I had surplus. I was only familiar with deficit. So what did I do? Naturally, because this is where my mindset was set, I began to spend that $8,000 down to where I could feel like I've done something again, all the way down to the $20. I would justify purchases that I didn't need to make at that time. I would go out and I would spend money on things that I knew that I didn't need. And all of a sudden, within 2 short months, that money was gone. And I was down to the $20 or $40 that I was used to. Why? Because my subconscious demanded it. That's what I have focused on my entire life. I have focused on surviving, not thriving. And because of that, I just simply spent the money down. Write this down. You can never live above the level you believe about yourself. Wherever your mindset is set, that's where you will be. You will never be able to get above that until you change your belief systems, until you change your paradigm. How you think determines the quality of your life. Remember this: beliefs produce thoughts. Thoughts produce feelings and emotions. Feelings and emotions produce behavior, and behavior produces results and experiences. If I start at behavior, I'm putting the cart before the horse. I won't be able to change that. If you've got a strong enough will, you may be able to change it for a little bit, but eventually you will default back to where you were because you didn't change your belief system. And next time we'll talk about, how do I change this belief system? How do I change my paradigm? How do I change what I've been thinking and what I've been conditioned to for years? Well, That's why I'm here. I'm here to help you think better. Until next time.